In a remote village nestled deep within the mountains of Japan, there lived a renowned Zen master named Hiroshi. He was known far and wide for his wisdom and the profound teachings he imparted to those who sought his guidance. One brisk morning, a group of curious travelers embarked on a journey to find Hiroshi. Drawn by the whispers of his transformative wisdom, they had heard that the Zen master had the ability to convey profound truths through silence alone. Upon arriving at Hiroshi's humble cottage, the travelers were greeted with a warm smile. Hiroshi, a man of few words, led them to a tranquil garden beside his cottage. In the center of the garden, there stood a magnificent cherry blossom tree, its delicate pink blossoms in full bloom. Hiroshi gestured for the travelers to sit beneath the tree, and they did so, forming a circle around its base. The air was filled with the sweet fragrance of cherry blossoms as they waited in anticipation for the Zen master's teaching. Hiroshi, with a gentle expression, closed his eyes and entered a state of deep meditation. The travelers watched in silence, curious about what would transpire next. Minutes turned into hours, yet Hiroshi remained motionless, lost in his meditation. As the sun arched across the sky, casting shifting patterns of light and shadow on the garden, the travelers began to fidget, feeling impatient. They exchanged glances, wondering if they had misunderstood the purpose of their visit. Hours passed, and the afternoon sun dipped below the horizon, casting the garden into twilight. Just as doubt began to creep into the travelers' minds, Hiroshi opened his eyes. He met their gaze, and in that moment, they saw a profound serenity and clarity in his eyes. Without uttering a word, Hiroshi rose from his seated position and walked toward a nearby pond, filled with koi fish that swam gracefully beneath the surface. He stood beside the pond and gently tapped the surface of the water with his finger. The travelers watched as ripples formed and expanded, distorting the reflection of the cherry blossom tree in the water. Hiroshi tapped the water again, creating more ripples, and then he stopped. He turned to the travelers and pointed to the distorted reflection of the cherry blossom tree. With a knowing smile, he gestured toward the tree itself, still and serene. In that instant, the travelers understood the profound lesson Hiroshi had imparted through the power of silence. The ripples in the water symbolized the restless thoughts and distractions that often clouded the mind. The still, unblemished reflection of the cherry blossom tree represented the clarity and peace that could be found in the absence of mental turbulence. Hiroshi had shown them that, just as the pond reflected the tree most beautifully when undisturbed, the mind could find its true essence and wisdom in the profound silence within. The travelers left Hiroshi's garden with a newfound understanding of the power of silence. They realized that, in the stillness of their own minds, they could discover clarity, inner peace, and the profound wisdom that words often failed to convey. Hiroshi continued to sit beneath the cherry blossom tree, embodying the serenity and wisdom of a Zen master, knowing that the most profound lessons were often spoken through the language of silence.